Make 15% more concrete from every bag. The Gardener is brought to you by PPC.
If you're battling with your garden and you just don't know what to do, well then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Tanya Visser, editor of The Gardener magazine, and welcome to The Gardener. Today we're going to show you guerrilla gardening. I mean, this is seriously hardcore stuff. We're going to be using plants that are ultra tough because this garden is in the blazing sun with not a tree around. We're going to show you how to put garden lighting into a setting like this. This is the front garden, the entrance to the home. You want a bit of light, and we're going to show you how to do that from scratch. Once upon a time, I'm sure this garden did look like a garden, but with new homeowners in, place has been left for a while. You can see what happens. Kikuyu grass gets a life of its own and becomes, well, almost a climber or a creeper, and that's what happens. So ideally, we've got this rose in the back, we've got a few dead plants, we've got plants under here. Well, in fact, we don't even know what's under here. So most importantly, we need to get rid of all of this. We need to put a bit of structure into this garden, link up this bed with the remaining garden, and really just get some control into it. You know, when you let your garden get to this point, the job seems overwhelming. It really does seem like you're going to be climbing Mount Everest. The most difficult part of everything is getting started, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Most of us simply do not have enough time to tend to our gardens as much as we would like to because we're constantly on the go. So the best thing to do is to opt for a small functional garden, low maintenance, that will suit your lifestyle. Have any of you ever moved into a home where all of a sudden there's a seriously overgrown rubber tree, like 30 meters or something, or one of these guys that you can see has been pruned numerous times? Just look at the thickness of the stem. We call these escaped house plants. We get given it as a gift in a little pot, looks very cute and dainty in the house. It outgrows the pot, so what's the next best thing? We plant it into the garden. We plant it in there not knowing how big it's going to eventually get, what its root system does, and what damage it could do. Because most house plants have to be pretty tough, like the rubber tree, like this pleomele, like chef leras, that simply once let loose, grow meters and meters. So if you are going to do that, rather check it out, get your favorite gardening magazine, find out how big it's going to grow, and tame the wild. So after much sweating and expletives, we've managed to clear this garden bed. But now we've found that the garden kind of disappears into the bank. So we've got a fall of about 1 in 30, which is not ideal to be able to recreate a garden. Thank goodness we found some rocks lying around. So what we're going to do to make sure that we can extend and use as much of this garden space as possible, we're going to use these rocks just to create the level and to fix the level that we're working on. So this big guy is going to come in here and just stand him up on the edge, and then once we've got this line in place, we'll fill in with potting soil to create our level that we can work off. Because if you're going to be doing this, you've got to get this groundwork done now. Could be so tempted just to fill in with a bit of soil and plant, but then the garden will still just disappear over the edge. And especially in a townhouse garden, space is of the optimum, premium. You're going to be losing all your garden. We're nearly done with the rock wall, and I am so delighted that we managed to find these guys. There it is. We've built it up enough. All that we need to do now is turn the soil over, because remember, yes, it's all well and good to fill it up with potting soil, but when you start digging these plants and you start hitting this layer at the bottom, it's going to be hectically difficult. Because we're having to do a lot of filling in here, we're using a mixture, 50% compost and 50% potting soil. We're going to make sure that it's mixed in really well into the existing soil, and this, I know, is going to be like planting these plants in pure growing medium. They are just going to love it. All right, folks, so the hard work is done. We've cleared the bed, we've put in a good mixture of compost and potting soil, dug it in, and wow, I'm relieved it's over. But now, you know, we spoke that this bed is in full sun. It really is incredibly hot. The folks that live in this home want an easy, low-maintenance garden, something that they can put in, watch it grow, and do its thing. Yes, I know what plants I'm going to put in here, some really tough guys that are going to flower right in summer, also in winter. But importantly, I'm thinking we need some kind of a feature. You know, every garden needs the wow factor. What is it that's going to draw your eye into it? And for that purpose, I think I'm going to do some kind of solar lights over here. Not ordinary solar lights that you kind of stick in the ground. No, of course not. We're going to make our own. So, coming up right after the break, we're going to show you just how to make them.